Hello, beautiful Sagittarians. This is Karen the Forest Empress, and I am here with your April mid-month tarot card reading. I also will be pulling a wisdom from the Hidden Realms Oracle deck, as well as a witch's rune to tie everything together at the end. So what we have coming up for you in the third week of April is the Justice card first. This is great if you're in any legal proceedings, or if you are waiting to hear about maybe an insurance payout, or maybe just hearing about some kind of legal matter. This is actually a very favorable card to pull. You may be hearing about it in the third week, or maybe getting into it, but it looks like if you are getting into it, it'll go in your favor. This is great for signing contracts. This is a card of balance and harmony. So it really is a great card to start off your third week of April. Oh, and you also could be presented with a business proposal. And if so, definitely take the time to look it over, but it looks like it would probably be something that is in your favor as well. Oop, and I just dropped the card. Okay, the next card that we have coming up in the third week of April is the Queen of Wands. This could be a beautiful person that you are coming across in the third week. It is likely a woman, but it doesn't have to be. And it is probably a fire sign, or will embody the traits of a fiery person. So maybe their rising or moon is in fire, which is hard to know because you can't just go up to somebody and be like, hey, what's your rising or what's your moon? Even though if you study astrology, those two signs are actually very relevant. I always want to know from people, but usually they don't know. But anyway, so this woman is very creative. She's very lively. If you're working on a creative project, this could be someone who could actually help you. So I would pay attention to this person if she comes about. She's a practical organizer, and it seems like she wields quite a bit of power in her own right. So definitely a good ally to have, especially in this third week if you are dealing with things regarding this Justice card that we just talked about. The third card that we pulled for the third week of April is the Four of Wands in reverse. This could mean you might be feeling towards the end of the week a little bit restricted or powerless, which is kind of a little absurd to me because I think Sagittarians are very powerful people. They are very, they're like go-getters, and they are very... My husband is one, and I always say that he's very blunt, but I mean that in the most loving way. Like, they just tell it like it is, and they just go for it and do it, and it's very admirable. I'm a Pisces, so I like, I tread water and wait for the right opportunity, but I always have loved that Sagittarians are just, they have that, there's this confidence that comes from within, and it's very, very admirable and very endearing. In fact, they're probably one of the more endearing signs. So the Four of Wands is saying that, if you are feeling powerless or trapped in a situation, think about what you do have and what you are grateful for, because the more we focus on what we're grateful for, the more things will come in for you to continue to be grateful, because the universe likes those feelings going out there. Even if it seems like, oh, I could have more, or I could be doing more. If you really take a step back and look at what you have, I bet you're going to find that you're actually a very lucky person. In fact, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of luck. So luck just kind of seems to come to you. So be open to it and take it. And no negative thinking patterns, especially if you start feeling this card in the third week. Don't get into those negative thinking patterns. So let's go to the fourth week of April. The first card that we have coming up is very similar to this Four of Wands in reverse, but it's in the form of swords. This is the Eight of Swords. So this is another card of feeling trapped or powerless or restricted. If you look at the card, you can see how it represents that with this woman. It does say that there is some patience needed, and if you need help, it's there for you. You just need to ask for it. And don't be ashamed of asking for it. Everybody needs to ask for help at some time or another. And, if you do feel weird about asking for help, just see it as an opportunity for you to give back that help later on. Just say, okay, well then I'm indebted in the help realm, and now I can go and help somebody else. So the next card we have coming up is the Seven of Cups. This is a card of choices. There could be an important decision to be made, but there are just too many options for you, which is not surprising. But I would really take the time to think it over and use your intuition. Sagittarians have great intuition, and just, take some time and quiet your mind and really think about your choices here, and you'll make the best informed decision. But it looks really good. Now, going along with that, the last card that we have And I'm sorry if you hear noises in the background. I have a kitten and he's like desperately trying to open the door. And so I'll kick him out after this reading, but you might hear that. So the last card we have for the fourth week of April is the Fool. And it doesn't mean that you are a fool at all. It actually means like a new chapter of your life. You can see that it's the card 0. So it is a brand new start. It could be having to do with whatever choice you're making. But I would say, take a risk. You never know when it's going to pay off. Expect the unexpected. And another interesting interpretation of this card is to pay attention to people who seem fairly unconventional in your life, because you never know what kind of insight they can provide. And also with that unconventionality comes, a uniqueness that can really be beneficial to you in this kind of world that we live in today. So, keep that in mind. Let's pull a Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle card for you, Sagittarians. And let's see what we have for the last 2 weeks of April. And we'll talk about it a little bit and look it up in the book, and then we'll pull our Witch's Rune. Oh, so we got, and this is a beautiful card, but we got the Hungry Ghosts. And I know a little bit about that. I know that this is something that is in, I know at least Chinese culture, the Hungry Ghosts. It's an interesting concept. So it says here, obsessions, scarcity, consciousness, and attachment. So this could be going along with feeling a little bit restricted. The Hungry Ghosts, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that the Hungry Ghosts are ghosts who they are trying to get energy from you or trying to get something from you, because I think that it's that their ancestors don't give enough offerings, and so they need to go look for it elsewhere. And if I am wrong, I really apologize. But this is how I know it to be. I am pretty interested in ghosts, so I do know a little bit about it, but not specifically, the cultural implications with this term. Let's look it up and see what the Hungry Ghosts have to say. I think it's a really cool card, actually. Where are you? How am I not seeing it? Oh, here we go. 40. Okay, so it says that, even though this might seem like not the most positive card, it actually is. It is saying it's saying to get out of those negative thinking patterns. So if you are doing that in the 4th week or even in the 3rd week a little bit, this is kind of a warning to say to get out of it. And Sagittarius are very charismatic, very optimistic, and I don't think it'll be too hard for you to get out of negative thinking patterns if you are experiencing them. It just could be, a fluke phase right now that you're going through, and there's new beginnings coming. So you just have to kind of be maybe a little bit patient. That might be a little hard for Sagittarians, but I know you can do it. So it says to surrender your will, your life, your heart's desires, and all that pains you to the divine, and order will be restored in your world. And it's also saying that it can bring a lot of understanding. You can see the kitty cat in the background. Don't get caught up in outside appearances either. Now let's pull a Witch's Rune and see what the message is for the mid-month of April. All right, this came up for someone else. This is the Woman Rune. It is ruled by Venus, and Venus is going to be going direct actually this next day. This weekend is going direct. So if you've been feeling cloudy or confused about a relationship, some clarity is coming, and it will probably happen this weekend and further into these last 2 weeks of April. So it's interesting also that we pulled the Woman Rune, and then we do have this important woman coming up in the 3rd week, this Queen of Cups. So so yeah, this woman might come up, and this is saying maybe just a confirmation to pay close attention to that woman when she does come up. And if she has something important to say, listen to her. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful last 2 weeks of April, and I will see you in May. Thank you. Bye.